Rita Dostal would like to start out. She has some questions she'd like to ask you. So Rita, now's your chance to ask some of your questions.
Okay. I'm from South Tama, 7 miles north of Toledo by Joe Manley. Salt Creek asked me twice for a wind turbine. I turned them down twice. If they contact me again, I'm going to my lawyer, and I will go to my lawyer for harassment. If I can say no the first time, the second time, and the third time. Ridiculous. Third of all, they have a roadmap of all these turbines. I asked them, take my land, my farm, off the blueprint. Has not been done. Very disappointing. I asked them where the turbine's gonna be. Ma'am, I can't tell you. I said, sir, get out of my house. If they come on my land or come near me again, I'm gonna call the police for trespassing on my land, because I told them 3 times to stay away from me. Do you understand me by this? When you say a done deal, means that you made this industrial. Industrial means not a done deal. A done deal is a farmer signing the easement to be a done deal. You have no control over this, none. Everyone who has land, stand up. Own land in this area, around here, stand up.
They got acres.
Acres,
Count that.
whatever,
All right.
whatever you have. How many people were asked about wind turbine? How many been asked once or two? 1 time, 2 times? Multiple times? Is that harassment? I want you a panel to understand, my dad was on the county committee, and he was in government. He never treated people wrong. He never told people go away, that you're not important. We pay for your salary, just like we are one of your servants, your constituents. You are representing us, and you are. It's a hard task. I'm not saying an easy task. Representing people is hard, but one thing you need to do is to listen to people's concerns, their feelings, the emotions. Not to say go away. It's done. We have to live with it. You don't. That is a fact. It is a fact. And yes, I'm emotional. I worked last night. And I was really concerned what I've been hearing, because people are not listening. If one person could get out of the easement, it's fair that anybody could get out of the easement. If Faircloth got out of it, because he made a decision that he made a mistake, because he's on the committee, I want a turbine just to show that I'm okay with it. And then he turned around and said, I'm not okay. With Salt Creek, I think if you do for one, you do for all. And give them the ideas how to get out of it. That is a freedom of choice. When you give choices away, then it's dictatorship. If you don't listen to people's concern, that is dictatorship. Are you bought? Are you scared to be sued by this company? Scary. And I don't blame you. I'd be scared. If a company come up and said, if you don't do away what we want, I'm gonna sue your county. Huh. Well, I think I'd take that concern and say, yeah, I'll do anything you want. That's easy to say, and it is. It takes a person, a strong person, to stand up and say, hey, we are individuals. We can make our own decision. Let the people decide. If we have petition against it, I think it's our right. And not to ignore us. Or say that we're not on your agenda anymore. How sad. Oh, how'd you keep my mouth shut?
No, you're fine, Rita.
Am I?
Thank you.
Okay.
Thank you for your questions and your concerns.
Sorry.
You've got nothing to apologize about. Thank you.
Okay.
Good morning. Tama County Against Turbines is pleased to be on the agenda for today's public meeting. I'm John Winklepleck, a fourth-generation Tama County crop and livestock farmer.
And I'm Richard Art. I am also a fourth-generation Tama County crop and livestock farmer. We're here today to request specific action items of the Board of Supervisors on Tama County land use issues. Specifically, the first action item is for Tama County to initiate the process of updating the wind energy conversion system ordinance. That's the ordinance that you as supervisors reaffirmed without any changes since its prior approval in 2010. You most recently reauthorized the ordinance during your meeting on Monday, May 16th. Specifically, that's Tama County Ordinance 6.1. Tama County Against Turbine representatives look forward to partnering with county officials and the citizens who serve on the zoning commission to update the current wind energy conversion ordinance. Our coalition has previously provided you with examples of modern, comprehensive wind energy conversion system ordinances from Boone County, Missouri, and Almer Township, Michigan, to use as a guide to better protect public safety for all citizens in Tama County. Our representatives can share other examples too as we work together to update the county's wind energy ordinance. So how soon can we begin updating the ordinance? And whom do you suggest our coalition works with in that process?
I think we addressed it last week with no comment.
I can't hear you, I'm sorry.
I said, same as last week, I have no comment.
Why do you say that?
And may I ask you why you don't have them? Sorry.
Okay. Why do you say that?
Because we took action to reaffirm the ordinance that we have. And there's a reason behind that, but I'm gonna let you take your 15 minutes first and then I'll talk about it.
Okay. Are there any other reasons that you refuse to update Tama County's existing wind energy conversion system ordinance? The public would like to know, and we're listening for your answer.
Here's the second action item. We are formally requesting that you, as the supervisors, take a vote on whether the county should initiate a moratorium on the approval of any further future industrial wind projects. To be clear, and as we've asked of you previously on behalf of more than 800 petitioners, the moratorium would place a pause on the approval of any future wind projects or repowering of them for anything beyond Salt Creek Phase 1. Will you take a vote today on placing a moratorium on any future phases of wind projects for anything beyond Salt Creek 1? If not, why?
No comment.
You're not.
And if you're not willing to take a vote on implementing a moratorium on future wind project approval in Tama County today, when will this vote on implementing a moratorium be taken during the public portion of a Board of Supervisors meeting? We're listening and the public deserves to hear.
I'll make a brief comment after the 15 minutes have expired.
The third action item we're requesting is for the County Board of Adjustment not to issue any more conditional use permits or special conditional use permits that might allow industrial wind turbines to be placed on ag land. Since Tama County farmland is zoned as agricultural, not for industrial use, is the ag farmland in the Salt Creek project, for which the county has previously issued conditional use permits or special conditional use permits, still being actively farmed. If it is being farmed, that confirms the land is still agricultural in nature, not industrial. Therefore, the county does not have the authority for authorizing industrial wind projects, including wind turbines, towers, or pads, or any infrastructure related to them, to be permitted on ag land.
The fourth action item is for the county staff to actually monitor and enforce compliance with all areas of the county's existing wind energy conversion system ordinance, starting today. That will help to hold wind projects and those responsible for them accountable. Monitoring and enforcing the existing wind ordinance, as minimal as it is, will also help to better protect public safety of all the residents of Tama County. The current ordinance has many gaps. For example, it doesn't explain or describe a process for how complaints from the public are handled, or how the county enforces the existing wind ordinance. Despite the many gaps in the current ordinance language, we're asking for the county to begin the process of monitoring and enforcing what is the current ordinance. Then in the future, as the existing wind ordinance is updated to provide more clarity, new, improved language and more stringent requirements can be added to it through approved amendments to better protect public safety. Those amendments can be based on what is learned from other counties with more comprehensive wind ordinances that better protect public safety.
And the fifth action item is for the county staff responsible for approving wind projects to work directly in conjunction with the sheriff's office staff and those responsible for Tama County's emergency communication system to ensure that the siting of current wind project pads and potential turbine locations doesn't interfere with the county's new emergency communication system or any other signals, including Doppler radar, radio, TV, or cell phone signals. To do that, the county staff responsible for accepting applications for wind projects or phases of them needs to verify before any application is considered or approved that the application includes the exact, specific, total turbine height with the blades fully extended for each specific proposed turbine and proposed specific location. That information needs to be supplied in full, exact details up front before any application for approval of a wind project in any phase or form are considered by the county.
If that specific information for each turbine is not included in the application needs to be denied until the information is supplied in full. We're asking the county to ensure that all the complete and necessary detail is fully provided by any developer seeking any sort of permit or approval from Tama County for a wind project. County officials must verify that those complete details are fully provided on written public record before any wind projects are considered for approval, and also before any construction of turbines is allowed to proceed.
The sixth action item requested is for the county auditor's staff to consistently keep and promptly and permanently publish online on the county's website at tamacounty.iowa.gov the complete minutes for all Board of Supervisor working sessions in accordance with Iowa Code Chapter 21 of the Open Meetings Law. This entails keeping and publishing complete minutes of all working sessions as well as all other public meetings as specified in Iowa Code Chapter 21. When will the county begin keeping and publishing full and complete minutes of all Board of Supervisors working sessions? And as required by Iowa Code Chapter 21, when will the county keep and publish complete full minutes of all Board of Supervisors public meetings in addition to the working sessions, which are also public meetings?
So to summarize, the 6 action items we are asking you to do on behalf of the citizens of the county are: number 1, for Tama County to initiate the process of updating the existing wind energy conversion system ordinance. We remind you that Tama County Against Turbine representatives look forward to partnering with county representatives in that process. Number 2, we are formally requesting that you take a vote on whether the county should initiate a moratorium on the approval of any future industrial wind projects. To be clear, the moratorium would place a pause on the approval of any future wind projects or repowering of them for anything beyond Salt Creek Phase 1. Will you take a vote today on placing a moratorium on any future phases of wind projects for anything beyond Salt Creek 1? Number 3, we are also requesting that starting today, the County Board of Adjustment not issue any more conditional use permits or special conditional use permits for industrial wind turbines to be placed on ag land that is zoned is agricultural. Number 4, that Tama County staff continuously monitor and enforce compliance with all areas of the county's existing wind energy conversion system ordinance. Number 5, for the county staff responsible for enforcement of the wind energy conversion system ordinance to work with the sheriff's office and those responsible for Tama County's emergency communication system to ensure that the siting of current wind project pads and potential turbine locations does not interfere with the county's emergency communication system or other signals for Doppler radar, cell phones, or other communication. To ensure that wind turbines aren't interfering with communication signals, it will be necessary for the county to require upfront in any wind project approval application the specific exact total wind turbine height with blades fully extended to be specified for each proposed turbine and each proposed specific location. The end result is to ensure that before any wind projects are approved, or any wind projects that are already approved are actually constructed, that no wind projects or aspects of them interfere with communications signals. Number 6, that county staff maintain and promptly and permanently publish online the complete minutes for all Board of Supervisor working sessions in accordance with Iowa Code Chapter 21.
So, what are the next steps in your consideration of these action items?
No comment.
Thank you.
Could you repeat that so it can come back?
No comment,
Why?
because we choose not to by the advice of our attorney.
And who's advising you?
Our attorney?
Okay, my attorney will advise me too.
Okay.
Okay, it's a two-way street.
Oh, yeah, sure.
But you know what? You are representing us. You're getting paid by us. You have to listen and say no comment. That's not an answer. There's a reason why you're saying no comment. Because you're scared. You're bought out. You made a commitment to this. You're scared to be sued. What are they? Being sued, probably. Because it was in the paper one time.
Well, I'll make a couple comments now because it's past that 15 minutes, now 20. The reason that I hope you can hear us from the back because it seems like it just passes over deaf ears when I talk about a lawsuit, a very strong possibility of one, should we do any of the things that was requested by this group from the beginning, which was a moratorium and a change of ordinances. Now, I got this information that I'm about to give to you from Kurt Burnham, who's closely, he's participating in the next wind farm and also has a lot of knowledge on the subject. But according to him, Salt Creek has invested at this point $12 to $15 million. Now, if we do either of those things, we've been told, of course, that we will be sued. Now, is that what our current debt is around 15 million. We want to double our debt?
Okay, then you sold us down?
Since when did Kurt Byrne become the official on wind energy?
He was in here last week.
I'm aware he was in here last week.
Well, and he would.
Might have been a little hard to recognize with his cap in front of his face. I haven't seen that since they walked Bernie Madoff out of court. But I see he's not here today when I am. I don't recognize him either.
He's not half the man we thought he was.
Really?
You're damn right, Larry. Time to grow balls.
Can I ask you, Larry, where did Salt Creek spend that money? Is that all in Salt Creek 1?
I don't really know that answer.
Okay, I mean, we haven't come in here trying to stop Salt Creek 1, because you've approved it. So what are they threatening to sue you over?
If we stop.
I mean, we have seen the letter from the lawyer, and basically all it said was from concerning the moratorium. It did not say anything concerning ordinances.
I got one other comment before we shut it down here.
Okay,
911 communication, those towers, if any of the wind towers interrupt that, they will either fix it or be required by our ordinance or required by law. It's all on the developer.
But have you cited those tower pads and assured up front before you even approve them that they are in the proper locations not to interfere with the emergency communication signals? It's a little late to do it after the fact and much more difficult to troubleshoot after the fact. What we're asking is for the county to ensure up front, before any more towers or pads are approved, that none of them are cited that they're in conflict with disrupting the emergency communication systems, and also for the county to verify that those pads that have already been approved for Salt Creek 1 and that the turbines are also verified before any further construction proceeds to ensure that they are not going to disrupt the county's emergency communication system and that $6.6 million investment that the county has made in emergency communications. That's what we're asking. It's too late when the train has left the station. We're asking to do that up front and assure that that's done consistently up front. Is that going to take place to verify that those current pads are not in conflict with the E91 communication system?
If any part of that wind farm has, gives problems with communication, it will be fixed, and it will be fixed by the developer.
And that's a little late after the fact again, because if somebody needs an emergency communication call and it doesn't go through, lives are on the line.
Our 911 director has been, had a conversation with, I have no idea who it was, you. Anyway, he was assured the same information that we got.
Well, conversation is one thing, proof is what the public is asking for. Proof of no conflict with wind turbines with the E911 emergency communication system.
According to the information we have, they will not. or they will.
Yeah, you guys don't even know who's enforcing the wind ordinance now, when we've asked you that previously, so the public doesn't have a lot of confidence that that's actually the case.
And you reference Kurt Byrne is in Salt Creek just because he lives in Traer with you?
Well,
I have over 900 people on a petition and you haven't given them the time of day.
Since
Over
when did
900,
Since when did Kurt Byrne become an attorney? I know he's a veterinarian, he's worked for us for years, but I didn't know he was also an attorney to advise you.
you're taking guidance from Kurt Byrne because he lives in Traer with you, Larry. You know what? Because he's concerned about his own pocket, his own investment, because he has money invested like the big six. We use him for a reference, but you will not give over 900 people. And due to the lack of consideration from you three, our coalition continues to grow. And it's getting stronger by the day. But I find it ironic you reference Kurt Byrne, but you will not listen to over 900 people we bring before you for over a month and a half. And the best you've got is no comment. I'm going to tell you what, guys, don't spend a dime on re-election. You don't need to worry about it.
You guys are one-time wonders at best.
I'm not voting for you guys. The thing is,
Yep.
I'm sorry, I think you gotta be fair. Don't listen. Don't consider. Hey, my farm is a century farm. No wind turbine's gonna be on it, and that's a guarantee. Because it's belonged to the state. It's gonna be a park. It's donated already. They can't,
25 F.
We will see you guys next week.
There's more questions.
More questions.
There's more questions. Can I? Oh, okay, thank you.
Let's go.
So Larry, can I do a real quick comment? Just on the 12 million, that's since 2009. Just to put into context, that 12 million, we've done some research too, it's since 2009. So that's 13 years, right? So it's, if you break that down, and a lot of it wasn't studies that they did on their own to try to prey on Tama County, because they knew our ordinances were bad. It's got this transmission line that runs where it needs to go. So I wouldn't say that solely, well, they spent $12 million, that's our problem, right? A lot of it was correct, right? That's been since 2009, I think, when they first started coming around. So just one thing to keep in mind, to put in some context.
We would like to vote on the moratorium.
I just wanna make a comment. I mean, obviously, everybody's getting really flared up. I mean, it's it's emotions and everything, but technically, it's our immune systems, the way they're made up, to respond. So we need to all just kind of settle back, take a deep breath, start to think reasonably, because we're getting to the point where reasoning is going out. I mean, I don't think wind turbines should be put up at all. That's my personal understanding and belief from my personal studies that I have done and observations. And I just want us to be reasonable Iowans, not continue to scar the state with these wind turbines, which is my perception. And I'm sorry for anybody I offend, or don't. I mean, if somebody agrees with me, great. But we just need to do what's reasonable, right, true, good. That's it.
That'll be the last comment.
Thank you.
Lawyer from Des Moines, who's paying the bill?
So the question was, who is paying the bill for the attorney that you folks, as the Board of Supervisors, are using, since you are not taking legal counsel from the county attorney, Brent Aaron? Who's the attorney, and how is that attorney getting paid? And is that attorney getting paid by Tama County tax dollars or some other means?
We're waiting.
I understand that, John. He's been, initially was first filed with Heartland Insurance Risk Pool. he's the attorney for that group, 10 counties. Each county is allotted so many hours of, free, if you will, from Heartland, the use of that attorney. And that's the number, that's the dollars that are paying him currently.
So Tama County is paying into the Heartland Insurance Risk
That's
Pool
right.
to get attorney or legal counsel from Carlton Salmons. So you're paying the money into the Heartland Insurance Risk Pool, and that attorney, Carlton Salmons, is coming out of the hourly retainer that you have for that insurance risk pool. Is that what you're saying?
That's it.
Has any
And-
other
and-
expenditure gone?
And that's it.
Has any other expenditure gone beyond what the minimum is in the retainer for what you paid as the base into the Heartland Insurance Risk Pool?
Ladies and gentlemen, you had a half an hour of your 15 minutes.
It's not a dictatorship, this is the United States of America, like Lockport. I think it's disgusting. That's all I have to say.
And the question from the public is, how many attorneys are Tama County paying for since you as the Board of Supervisors choose not to take legal counsel from the county attorney Brent Herron, who's elected to serve the taxpayers and to be at the disposal of the county? Taxpayers wanna know how many additional tax dollars are going to pay outside attorneys as a result of the actions that you choose not to take to listen to the public, who is asking for a moratorium on industrial wind projects, and at the very least, to open the process to update the county's existing wind ordinance. So this is a matter of public record. Please tell the public how much you're spending in multiples of attorney fees.
Now it's 32 minutes of your half, 15 minutes. Mr. Chairman?
We have nothing else to say this time. Thank you for coming.
Would you take a vote, please, on the moratorium request from the more than 900 petitioners? You asked us to bring you action items. We brought you six action items today. Will you take action on any of these action items? And if not, why not?
Is there a handbook regulation that you use to come up with a decision?
What's
Or
that?
how do you decide this?
Now we're at 35 minutes.
Do
of
you
your
have a
15 minutes.
handbook regulation? I mean, I worked with the government for 31 years. All you guys were farmers that worked with me. Do you have a handbook with regulations on how to respond to the public? I don't care what time it is, really.
So
Do you,
our
do you
question
have a
is,
handbook?
Are we gonna be adjourned now?
Do you have a handbook? Dan, do you have a handbook? Regulations? Do you?
No comment. Laura?
Yep, it's 10:33. Would you guys, we will adjourn the board meeting.
Thank you.